Hi, everybody. My name is Mrs. Pereira, or Senora Pereira to you this year. We're going to go over the Spanish 1A syllabus. This way you have a copy of it to look at in video format, and you'll have copies of the Google Slides, so you can look back at it anytime this year if you're confused about something or you need a refresher. So the things that we're going to go over are an overview, what's class going to be like, grading policy, how will you be graded and what will be graded, expectations, how you can successfully learn Spanish, what you need, apps and supplies, and organization. So how will you find everything this year in the hybrid school format? So the overview. So in Spanish 1A, you will learn the foundations of Spanish language. So you'll explore topics like family, school, likes, dislikes. You'll talk about places in the Spanish-speaking world and traditions. We'll learn basics like numbers, dates, alphabet, and some animals, some colors, and some adjectives as well. So you see, we cover a wide variety of topics, and by the end of the year, you'll be able to speak about several different types of things. We'll cover 4 chapters. Oops. The 4 chapters are the preliminary chapter, which is where you learn the greetings, the dates, you learn about weather, you'll learn the alphabet, how to spell your name. You'll also learn in chapter 1 how to answer basic questions. So beyond saying your name and the date and the weather and how to spell your name, you'll learn things like, where are you from? Where do you live? What kinds of things do you like to do? What kinds of things do you dislike, etc. In chapter 2, we'll learn how to talk about our school. This is where you learn how to say which classes you have, who your teachers are, what time your classes are. You'll even be able to begin to talk about what you do in classes. So talking about action. You'll learn to describe the school building and what supplies you need for each class. Chapter 3, our last and final chapter for the year, is all about houses and families. You'll learn how to say who is in your family, what those family members are like. You'll be able to describe your house and talk about the house of your dreams. What will be graded this year and how will those grades count? So we'll be graded in 2 sections, right? What work you do at school and what work you do at home. For schoolwork this year, we'll do things in class like practice new material, we'll learn new material. You'll learn to do some games in class that'll help you practice Spanish. We'll do group work in class. We'll do some mini projects throughout the year. And then we'll work a lot on pronunciation and speaking in particular. At home, you'll do things for grades in the online textbook platform, which you'll find is really easy to use. You'll do work on Go Formative, which we'll explain thoroughly in class before I make you do it on your own at home. We'll learn to use Duolingo so that you can keep up with Spanish and learn new vocabulary at your own pace. And you'll do some listening work in an app online called This is Language. Your grading categories are 4 grading categories, and they're weighted. There's reading, writing, listening, and speaking. All those skills are important, and so that's why there are grades in the grade book. Reading will be 15% of your grade. Writing will be 30% of your overall grade. Listening will be 25%, and speaking will be 30% as well. So you can see that writing and speaking, the skills where you produce something, right? You speak or you write, are the ones that are the most important in the beginning. And then listening and reading, where you're interpreting information, you have to hear it or you have to read it and understand it. Those are a total of 40% together. Duolingo, which is the app that you'll use at home to practice vocabulary, that will go in the writing category. It's a lot of times used for your work at home, not in class. This is Language is in the listening category, and you'll understand more about those activities as we practice them together before you do them alone at home. And then you're going to use the work in the textbook online as practice so that you master those things and you're able to write and speak for in-class assessments. Sometimes the work in your textbook will be graded, but even if it's not graded, you need to complete it so that then you'll be mastering the skills that you need for when we do graded speaking and graded writing and graded listening and graded reading, okay? What are my expectations? Well, I expect, of course, which is not written on this slide, but you know, a Tampa Prep attitude, right? Being respectful, going above and beyond, and always striving to do your best. For speaking, I expect that you really, really focus on practice speaking and taking every opportunity you can to practice speaking in Spanish. You really won't see success in learning how to speak Spanish if you practice and use your class time to talk in English. So I'm really going to reinforce that. Duolingo is due every week. You're going to practice it at your own pace. You have to complete 75 XP, which I'll explain more about in class when we have the app and we can see it together. But basically, they're points that you earn by learning new skills in the Duolingo app. And you have to be mindful that you're not just repeating the same lesson over and over again because it won't give you the points. Spelling and accent marks. Students always ask me, are spelling and accent marks important? Spelling and accent marks are important. They are not the most important thing to communication. But if you want to master Spanish, then you need to practice them. And so we start practicing good spelling mechanics and good accent mark usage right from the beginning. So I say when you're practicing and you can look at your vocabulary list, use your best spelling and your best accent marking. Digital resources. Be careful. Using Google Translate to look up sentences is considered a violation of the honor code. In other words, it's cheating. So you cannot use it to look up sentences. If you use Google Translate to write a sentence, then Google Translate did the work, and Google Translate is not a student at Tampa Prep and therefore cannot receive a grade for the work. So if you don't do the work yourself, then you can't get a grade. And I think that's really easy to understand like that. If you need to use an online resource because you need a word that we have not learned in class that you really think is going to make your speaking or your writing better, then you would use Word Reference. It's an online webpage that has a wealth of information about words, and we'll learn how to use it together. What do you need for class? To do good work, we need supplies. We do lots of fun things and interactive things and hands-on things in class. So you need headphones with a microphone. That can be the kind that the AirPods. It can also be earbuds or any other earbuds that you want to use that work with your iPad. You need 4 plain manila folders without pockets. Okay, just regular file folders that open up and close. They don't have to have prongs in them. They don't need a pocket or anything. You need your iPad charged for class, and I suggest that you get a stylus, okay? You don't have to have an Apple Pencil. I'll show you what I use. I use this stylus. It has a little soft point on the end that I can use right on the iPad. And then for more precise work, it has this pointed end that has a little dongle on it. This was only $9 and it works really, really well. And that way, if I accidentally lose it sometime, it's not the end of the world like if I lose my Apple Pencil. We'll also use glue, scissors, highlighters, coloring things in class throughout the year. So you have those on your general supply list, but no, we will definitely use them in Spanish class. I suggest you go ahead into the App Store and download a few apps at your house. You need something called Duolingo, okay? You need Kahoot app. You need the Wayside Learning Site app. The Duolingo app and the Wayside Learning Site app both have owls for the icons in the App Store, just so you know. Quizlet app is easy to install and really useful throughout the year. The Quiz Is game app, it's not a quiz site, it's a game site. And then you'll need the Pic Collage app. And you'll use lots of these in other classes as well. We will use other online resources, but they're not necessarily app-based, they're web-based. How is everything going to be organized, right? It seems overwhelming this year because we're working in this hybrid format, but don't worry. I'm going to stay super organized so that you can stay super organized. And your best friend this year is going to be PSL. PSL es tu amigo. Okay, everything you need will be on PSL. Weekly and daily, you will use something called the wayfinding tool, which is a document that will be located on the main landing page of our Spanish 1 PSL page. You'll find all the assignments that you need for the week. It will have links to take you to the assignments, and it will tell you what is being graded so that you can focus your energies in the right place and know how to organize your week. Last but not least, some fun facts about me since you're going to spend the year learning Spanish with me. Okay, I love to use songs in class. I really enjoy music in general, so we'll listen to lots of fun songs. We use games a lot in class because I like to have fun, so I hope you like to have fun. We do mini projects throughout the year that show me how you understand Spanish. This might be things like puppet skits. It might be things like posters. It might be things like little hands-on displays. It could be a lot of different formats. So be ready for some project making. And I particularly enjoy silly stories featuring kooky characters. This year you'll get introduced to a series of animals. Some of them are called Barbara the crocodile and Lola the cat. So you can imagine that they do some strange things together, these animals. If you need to get in contact with me and you're not in class or we're not on Zoom together, you can always email me, and this information is also on your main page in PSL. My email is lpereira, all lowercase, at tampaprep.org. And then my Zoom classroom number is 942-615-7205, and that's also on the PSL page for your convenience. I'm looking forward to this year. I know that some of you are probably nervous about it, but we have to be excited about trying new things and thinking outside of the box, okay? So let's make the best of it, and I can't wait to meet you all and learn with you this year. Bye!